I'm looking for the pink box. I didn't find it.
All right. We'll keep this there for the next session. And then view another clipboard on this side also for the other side.
Okay. The first one. So yeah, it's a problem. What do I need for this is
Okay, so welcome to Dallas. This is the PPSP working group closing meeting. And this is Yunfei Zhang and Ning Zheng who will chair the PPSP session. This is a note bill of the IETF, so please make sure to read it carefully before attending the IETF activities. And this is a proposed agenda of today's meeting. And before agenda passing, we need to find a note taker. So, any volunteers?
Any note taker? So we cannot start our meeting session without note taker. Any volunteers? No.
right.
Sorry?
You need to write.
I can write, but I need another one. So maybe Rachel, you can help us take some notes, just briefly, not every sentence.
Okay. And first, I will record the PPSP activities in the IETF and the status of the working group. And then it goes to the peer protocol from Arno by Inteco. And then it goes to tracker-based protocol from Rachel. And usage of PPSP from Faye. We will conclude the meeting and make some suggestions on the afterward arrangement. So, any comments for the agenda? Great. So, for the history recording, we have already 6 years old. So, congratulations. And from the building of the PPSP working group, we have already published the RFC 6972 and for the problem statement and the requirements of PPSP. And regarding the peer protocol, we have finished the IESG review. It has passed, and it's on the way to the RFC editor. And for the base tracker protocol, we have passed the working group last call, and now it's under AD review. So, yeah. We will send it in the many weeks for 2 rounds of working group last call. And for the survey draft, we have finished 1 round of the IESG review, and it's suggested to run the independent submission stream after discussing with Martin and the ISG members because it is actually doesn't affect the current IETF protocols. But it needs to the authors to request for the independent submission stream, although it's very quick and it's relatively efficient compared to the regular IETF review process. But it needs a request. Also, we have 2 active individual documents. One is the extended tracker protocol, and the other is the usage of PPSP. So this is the general working group status under IETF documents. And as we all know, we have discussed in the mailing list that this is a closing meeting of the PPSP activities in IETF. So after this meeting, we don't have the regular meetings during the IETF to discuss PPSP technical points and anything related to this. But there is still mailing list to discuss for the individual documents and related interesting topics. For example, the PPSP, the integration of PPSP in the ITC web framework or something like that. And for all the left documents who is still in the process of the IETF. After closing the working group, it is suggested for these documents to seek for independent submission stream. And the review process will be more efficient if the authors provide a history of considerations and the reviews of the documents during their working group at the time of submission of their independent stream. It will be efficient for the outside editors to consider and to judge how to review the documents and to leverage what kind of resources to review this. And the authors need to email to their following email address for required information. Also here, I add two hyperlinks for how to do their independent submission stream. So the authors may read it carefully for detail. And at last, before the presentation, I would like to say this should be this is actually should be addressed after all the presentations. Many thanks to a lot of people, including the responsible ADs from last to permit the creation of this working group, and Martins, who always give a lot of support to the working group development. Also, we will give our thanks to the past co-chairs, including Colin, Gonzalo, and Stefano. Also, we will thank the ISG reviewers and RFC editors for making a lot of constructive suggestions for our drafts. Of course, last but not least, I would like to thank all of you who contributed to the working group. So thank you a lot. Thanks a lot.
Before that, we close this one. I just have some question for clarification. So, as said, we will leave this PPSP mailing list still for a while for the discussion of remaining individual draft. For example, the extended tracker protocol and the usage draft, and maybe PPSP use and to come interact with the RTC web. And I'm just wondering, maybe this question to our responsible AD, is that new individual draft is still allowed to submit to the list for discussion or completely closed?
Managed money. That's perfectly okay. Typically, the way of doing it is keeping the lists open even though the work groups have concluded, especially to, first of all, focus, foster discussion of existing RFCs and maybe bug fixes and implementations, but also if people come up with new ideas in the scope of that old working group.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's go to the presentation. So the first one is from Arno. Arno, can Can you hear me?
Yes, Yunfei.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. I also want to start and probably end with thanking you all for participating in making this a very instructive and useful experience for me. My sheets are very brief because last Thursday, apparently the last AD gave changes discussed to a comment, which means that if you can go to the next sheet, that we now have enough votes to pass. So the peer protocol is done. So if you can move a sheet, then hello, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so zero discusses. Time for champagne. So I have very little else to say than to thank you again. That's my next sheet, and I'm looking forward to finishing things up with the RFC editor and getting an RFC number. That's it. I saw that implementation was off the agenda. I had some videos for that, but well, you've all seen that over the past few years, so that's unless you want to show them, I'm fine with finishing up.
Okay, thank you, Arno. I just also noticed that you actually send out some video. Do you want to show that video as well here?
Not for my sake. I thought there was going to be a section on implementation, and I indeed sent some videos of what we did in the past, and but well, I'm fine with not showing them.
Arno, maybe you can introduce the slides content of the implementation.
Okay, sure. So if you can go one slide back. So then with Android. So we've implemented the peer protocol on Android and both on Android and iOS. It's actually the same code base. In case of Android, it's a mix of Java for the GUI and a C++ implementation. And in case of iOS, it's Objective-C with C++ linked against that. That works very well. Also fairly energy efficient if you compare it to client-server streaming. So that was a nice project. You want to play the video, or you want to move on to the next one? Yeah, what we also did is built a plugin for Firefox, again using the same code base and a bunch of JavaScript to actually have a PPSP handler built into Firefox. And we actually, at the time, were participating with the Wikimedia Foundation. They were very interested in doing peer-to-peer hosting of the videos on Wikipedia. So we could actually, they actually built some hooks for us into the production Wikipedia, such that if you had our plugin installed, it would check if there was and then you would visit a page that had video, and you played the video. It would actually check if there was a peer-to-peer swarm available for that video, and if so, would join that swarm to play back the video. So that was a very nice cooperation. And finally, a bit of hacking was also serious. We did a lot of work with Pioneer and the BBC on set-top boxes, but at one point, a particular model, Samsung TV, became available, which actually had Linux running on the inside. So we managed to get our peer protocol engine onto the actual TV. So there's an ARM processor in there. So we compiled it for ARM, and we're actually able to do peer-to-peer straight on the television, which was very nice. I think we did 5 megabits per second without any problems. 5 megabits per second HD without any problems. So that was a pretty nice achievement. Yeah, so that's basically it. A lot of stuff has been done. There are 2 companies I know of that are currently building a product based on the peer protocol. So that's also moving forward.
Okay, thank you, Arno.
Yeah, thank you, Yunfei.
Any questions and comments? So I have a question. My question is, your implementation on the Samsung TV is a commercial product or a test one?
It was a lab test. For the BBC, we actually built a set-top box. A set-top box was built by Pioneer that also ran the peer protocol engine, and we tested that in the field with a small village somewhere down in Lancaster, England, with the BBC content. So that was sort of production in real people's homes and measuring quality of experience and the type of thing.
Okay, thank you. So any other comments? If you have no further comments, let's go to the next slide. Rachel, for the thanks, Arno.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rachel Huang, and I will present the base tracker protocol and behavior of other co-authors. Okay, next, please. So let's have an overview of the document status. Currently, the document has finished the working group last call just before this IETF meeting. And we have made several changes since last version. And the biggest change is that we are using JSON to encode message bodies. And we also added 2 RN registries for our base tracker protocol. And we also changed a little bit our adapter structure to make it more readable, and some other editorial changes. Thanks. Next. So this is an overview of base tracker protocol in case that you are not familiar with it. The base tracker protocol basically uses 3 messages for operation. The connect message is to register peer, which is first usage, only the first usage, and to request some actions from the tracker to streaming the content, like join the swarm or leave the swarm. And find message is used to request a peer list, updated peer list from the tracker, and a stat report message to periodically inform the tracker its the peer status and some statistic informations to the tracker. from the stream message, we can see that we don't have an action message, a specific message to terminal the activity in the streaming service. So how do the peer do that? In the base track protocol, we use if a peer want to leave one of the swarms, it can send a connect message with the action set to leave, so they can leave the swarm. And if the peer wants to stop streaming all of the content and leave the system, it can stop sending the stat report. So tracker could detect for a while and then delete all the peers from the peer informations. Okay, next please. So that's basically the messages syntax overview that is based on the JSON grammar, and a picture here is the pictures in the slides is very small, so I'm not go into detail with it. This one is about the request. It's all described the messages of the string message connect, a find, and a status report. And the next one, next. This is about the response messages. So next. So if you have interest, you can review our draft and provide your comments on it. Next, please. Okay, it's a second changes about RN registry. We have two RN registry in our this document. The first one, we add a MIME type registry to define a registry for application PPSP tracker JSON media type. The second one is the base tracker protocol version number registry. We can see that we have a definition for the base tracker protocol, which is specified in this document. The value is set to 1, and the other values is on the side, maybe for future extensions. Yes, please. This is remain some small corrections need to be fixed in the current version. We haven't done the update yet, but I list here. The first one is that the peer protocol, the peers should report the number of concurrent links to a tracker, so the tracker could select the proper peers for requesting peer. And the second one is the parameters of proxy value should be removed from current ability net attribute specifications. We all know that JSON uses comma to divide attributes, but this document we just using a semicolon by mistake, so it should be fixed in the next version. So there are also some description issues as well. So this is the work that I need to do in the next version. So next step is, do we have any further questions, further comments on this draft? And maybe we need a quick updation then for AD review. So that's the whole things about base tracker protocol. Okay.
Thank you, Rachel. Any comments and questions? Matthew, I want to clarify that if there is a quick update version, do we still need one round of working group basketball, or
Managed emailing. Then it depends on the updates. If it's updates resulting out of the last call, then you don't need to last call this version anymore. If it's updates that are not covered by what has been found in the last call, then you need to repeat it.
I guess in Rachel's presentation, the update is mainly on the some text or description things. It doesn't involve too much on the protocol itself.
Yeah. So if you're not sure if this is like just minor corrections, then what you can do is a very short last call and they change text.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments? Thank you, Roche.
Okay.
And next, let's go to the usage of PPSP from Faith.
Hello, everyone. This is our slide, and I'm Fei Song from Beijing Jiao Tong University. And basically today I want to show some results about usage of PPSP system in terms of simulation implementations. So next, please. 3 parts included. The first one is simulation implementation. Okay, next one. Okay. Basically, we combine several software together, and including the OMNet, INET, and OverSim, is we want to establish a featured and extensible implementation simulation scenario. So 2 points we want to achieve. The first one is simplicity in terms of the high degree of the modularity and availability on top of a multiple TCP/IP protocol stack in a large scale. Okay, next one, please. And in terms of the modular architecture, the first one is scalability. We want to support a lot of nodes or large topology of the network, and we also want to support interactive GUI. We can, see or check all the topology changing and the packet sending or receiving and what is going on inside the routing tables. So about the churn models, sorry, we want to support the lifetime churn, the parallel to churn. So statistics is also very critical for us. Okay, next one.
Question.
Yeah.
So, do you have involved some churn model like if the peer is a mobile node?
Well, yeah, it is very important. But for this one, we only consider about the static scenario. For not this time, maybe next one we want to further our investigation. Thank you. Basically, this is the generic modular for the whole PPSP system. We have a tracker, we have peer seeder, we have peer leacher, and we have several blocks. For example, for the memory, we want to use memory to hold all the content you receive, you want to transmit. And we also have the peer state, including the register and the downloading and uploading, like peer information, including your IP address, your peer ID. And the content manager is will be in charge of the what kind of content you want to have, what kind of resources, like the video, like the file, or other things. And we use this bar to show the bottom layer protocols. Right. We also have several timers. Okay, next one, please. Okay, functional and performance testing. Next one, please. Yeah. We implement this. We want to show a star network, including the one tracker and two seeder and the several liters. So currently, the topology scale is 5, 50, 50, and 250 pairs. We want to show the different scale. And now, just like Yunfei said, we only show the static topology, and we want to show the dynamic one next time. Next one, please. Okay, this is the simple case. Second one. Next one, please. Okay, this is for the 50, and next one is for 240, 50s. Yeah. And basically, this is several parameters. For the hardware, we running this simulation on top of the CPU is i5 2.5 gigahertz and 4G RAM. And software, this is the version of the OMNet, iNet, OverSim, and operating system. For the parameter about the PPSP system, we including the file size, swarm size, the chunk size, keep alive, blah blah. Okay, next one, please. Okay. For this picture, we want to show the events, right? The events means you can see here. This is event number 6. We filtered several events not relevant to the the final results. So you can see peer 0 sending something to the tracker, which is connect command, and the peer 1 sending the number 7 event to the tracker. You can clearly see the latency is quite different, and the corresponding acknowledgement from the tracker. You can also see this here. So this is we call visualizable. You can see all the events, and you can check the detail about them. Next one, please. And this is the throughput in terms of bytes. And the red one, we want to show how many bytes you have been sent, and the purple or blue one is the receiving. And this is peer 1 and peer 2. Okay, so they are seeders, and this is one of the leader, the receiver. Okay, you can see this is the sending, receiving. Okay, so next one, please. This is from another perspective. You can see with the time changing, and these two, the red one and the blue one, is showing the peer 1 and the peer 0 and peer 1, how many packets they send, and this is the leader, how many packets he received. Okay, next one, please. Okay, for the future work, right. It's like we didn't add any dynamic parameter like the term, like the other parameter changing, like the bandwidth, like latency. So we want to, include this variation into the next version of simulations. We also want to support the live streaming. So now this is only about the file transmission. So this is not the final target for the PPSP. And we also want to support the wireless and the net. So thank you so much. Any questions and comments?
Any comments?
Basically, I have a question. Since for Martin, it's like the working group is closing. So who will be in charge about the individual drafts? So if we want to call for last call, who should we?
Martin Stimmerling. So there's nobody left who can make last calls. Because last calls you only can do in a working group.
Okay.
So they can ask for that you post an updated version of the draft to the PPSP mailing list, and you can ask for feedback.
Okay, so that means we cannot change this draft to the working group draft. No. Okay.
My understanding is that you need to submit to the RFC editor for requesting their review and publication, and
Okay.
therefore there will be there will be some regulators to regulate how to proceed.
Okay. Thank you.
So Zoom from Samsung. Since it's small, I just speak. So for this software,
you need to go to the microphone.
okay. So for this partition, is the software open source? I mean, the PPSP implementation and this one.
Well, based on my understanding, PPSP is trying to figure out how to support, peer-to-peer streaming transmission. Is like, but for our task, we just want to implement this system on top of a simulation scenario or a simulation software. This is our work.
Okay, so this particular piece of work, is it software available for other people?
Well, now it's not, the software, because we haven't finished all the work, so now it's not available for the community, but when we finish, we want to put this online.
I see, thanks. And the other question is the PPSP, the previous guy's presentation. So is there a reference software implementation for PPSP? And it's available for no or yes?
It is.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Faye. And, okay, I think we have finished all the proposed agenda. And from the working group perspective, basically they have finished the task, and their last work should be done as we have suggested to do the independent submission stream and looking for the IETF application. So if you have any questions, comments in this process, don't hesitate to post it in the mailing list. We will reply quick for your questions and problems. And Martin, would you like to say some words as a closing remark?
So that's Martin Stimmerling again. So the thing is that the working group is officially not immediately closed. That's for process reasons. So what we're going to do is that when the working group documents are through the ISG and with the RFC editor, then the working group will be officially closed. And that's the simple reason is that we need the hull of the working group to make the processing through the ISG. But basically I think the documents are done. The peer protocol is with some final checking by me. I'm going to look forward for the AD review for the checker protocol, and then you're completed with your guidance. And yeah, thank you for contributing, especially also the chairs.
Thank you, Martin. And okay, if there's no other, any other questions, please.
Sorry to be late with my question. Can you, my name is Gaël Martin Cochet. Can you go on the slide after the birthday cake? Yes. Here you're mentioning RTC Web. So I'm not sure you have compared to the RTC Web protocol, or you're planning to bring that in the RTC Web. Can you elaborate on this bullet, please?
Yes, I think we have passed the discussion, and I think we have also individual draft on that, but it's to be expired now. But this is something we discussed before, and we was looking for some opportunity to to maybe apply the PPSP to RTC web, but we don't have any concrete conclusion yet. So this is just the example to say that this could be a possible direction for the future discussion on this. But as said, we are still individual. We are still draft driven, so we don't have draft right now. I mean, don't have active draft right now. So it will say if people interested on this direction, it's welcome to bring a new draft on this one.
Maybe Rachel, you can post the previous draft in the mailing list. Yeah, and if there are any questions and problems on the draft for the interested guys, please post your comments in the mailing list. Thank you. Any other comments?
I am Ben Schwartz. I'm curious what the status of privacy is in relation to PPSP and specifically transports that might provide confidentiality.
So I'm not the document author of the K protocol. Maybe that's a good question you can post to the mailing list because then you get the qualified answer from the document authors. But the P protocol itself, for instance, can run over UDP and can also run over DTLS, for instance, to ensure that nobody can see what you're actually exchanging in there. That would be the security question. For privacy, I would really refer to ask this to the list. What are any measures about privacy?
Thank you. If there is no further questions, comments, and problems, I would like to say that it's time to finish the working group work and close the meeting today. So thank you all for your participation. Thanks.
Also, thanks to Martin. Yeah, shepherded this working group for a couple of years.
So the second paper,
or maybe
nothing.
you didn't find the answer. You can search in the PPSP and find it. No, all you can also search the slides for another slides, or you can download the slides.
So where is the slides?
Slides is basically the serial
Oh, okay. So it's Parker, right? Okay. Okay, thanks.
Let's still you not looking just to this session.
I mean, we have a different purpose. So we are trying to get the side. So that's a counter application. So we are not reading the peer-to-peer. But we try to enhance the media side features to make the peer-to-peer work better. So we probably take your like scalability, like market view, like free view, and what else, and
Yeah, I think it's yeah, that's all.
You also mentioned this beyond this thing. These are really exceptional companies, so these are really not job or anything. So still people are sitting there or that's why okay.
但我们的领导，我们的领导是把它叫超东，超东好像就是过来，他其实他管 IETF 觉得 IETF 是 GPT 和 FX。
那个美国不是学版吗？
核心版，核心版，以前我们以前是核心版。那你们看那个也是，我很熟一些公司，也可惜了，好像就是把一个也是。它的 FX 数据得到了有一个影响。走了，我就现在，然后另外一个 iPad 是我们长时间的事情，它是从那个也是比较的，它也是我的例子。Long time I see.
I mean, some police also know some other jobs. I think that is right, and I think we should really watch and see what we can do.
And I would go through this and I see if there's something missing with this and see if there's some maybe we take a big step for it.
I mean, there are always pieces that
那个民众的音乐市场不是不才中能选中民版。
Okay, you were talking. This and the other thing I was thinking was some limitations and this condition control. Just that further one.
这是你吗？
Yeah, I think so. Frankly, I also think that this draft is, I mean, not really ready for what is wrote it to basically get this information, say some people and say, this is a good idea, this is a good idea. But they can really do it.
你该多点儿来。
Yeah, you should just like this is exactly what I did.
就说你那个你说
Different of these things and study what it is.
出现，在这上面找不到。那实际上电视上的那个手机上，
Thank you very much.
可以 expose 那确实是回的。
Good job. So, good job. All right.
From yesterday's will involve their
Like you researching the future. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
See you.
Okay, everyone's looking at that. 那确实微软现在 IETF 里面还有什么活动？他这个是不是想把一个 abstract 各种不同 transport 一个 OAPI 那个会到还有应该是 text 那 Smart 的好像是做在现有 UP 上加的方式 SO 到 UP 还是有点因为那个特征还是有一定的影响。对，是。不过这个讨论其实一直以来后续都有。 它本意义有什么？那跟什么 RTP、RTCP 那条有？那个RTP 有多少？RTP 和 RTCP 所以我觉得其实是这个那个还是没有那个对。然后如果是有硬的，管理的那个算了 OK。他就说那个现 DOF 如果同意的就是这个 upgrade。换工作吧，现成了这个成了生产，就是以前叶葵、黄玉，我现在是在曹东，反正他也走了，他在美国待了5年，应该回深圳，他小孩好像上了5年学，很难适应。对，还挺自己搞，应该前周10年搞了。哎，那你认识那个李三奇吗？就是那个听过。OK， 我们刚开始在华为的时候，他是我们名义上的这个大老板。好像这两年干得不错啊，全面开发。这个手机真的做的越来越好，进步吧。我觉得现在开那个微信做的很好，业务方式挺好，我们去看。苹果的宣传和那个管理，它是没有自己，不是他自己RF搞的，找人做，因为芯片找三星做，或者找Qualcomm做。而且是很多原理，看现在他那个 LTE modem 搞定了，这可能有1年是吧？而且比 Qualcomm 还快。Category 6的那个比 Qualcomm 早半年。那个是公的。你想，美国这边什么监测T2做了好几年，做不成功，裁了几千人，就大概去年前年是，整个方向就 give up 做了 ，T2也做了 ，NVIDIA 也做了 ，Qualcomm 也是裁了，去年裁了1000人，都做这个方向，还是很难。三星它是垂直者，它是 fab， 它是生产那一块比较容易，它实际上那个它 design 那块是比较没有话讲。华为说白了，marketing 这个在中国要说好。对，就是先是国内吧，我觉得华为手机就我们买过2个，买了个P6，买那个，但是那个P6就行，那个1年就坏了。它给 memory 就坏了，有这个使用。Sì, quello ho detto, quando vedere quando spento per tempo anche tu.